What's up, everyone? I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and this is the Anker 757 PowerHouse power station. And I've had this for a few weeks now and have been putting it to the test. And I really like this one. Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's #1 adventure travel consumer expo. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have one of the largest selections of overlanding gear available. Big Iron Overland Rally, where Overland Expo meets Music Festival. Shop Overland Apparel, your source for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise and more. Open Road 4-Wheel Drive, makers of affordable, high-quality winches and recovery gear. Outback RV of Texas, the best place for overland adventure trailers. And Moon, makers of the Moonshade portable awning. Going through the specs real quick, it is a 1229 watt-hour power station. It has a 1500 watt pure sine inverter. It weighs right at 44 pounds, so it's a hefty one, but there's a lot of power built into here. It is lithium iron phosphate technology in the batteries, which is absolutely fantastic, which does contribute to that weight because those batteries do weigh a little bit more than the lithium ion batteries. But those batteries do give this a 3,000 cycle life cycle. So that means you can completely discharge and recharge this 3,000 times before the batteries then drop to 80% capacity. So it still has a lot of usable life after those 3,000 cycles. But I mean, 3,000 cycles is going to last you a very long time. It has, on the front here, as you can see, a very large detailed display, giving you your battery level indicator plus percentage remaining. Once you turn on all the things, various additional things come up on the display to tell you what's going on. It has 6 USB ports. I think that should be the bare minimum for any power station. 6 USB ports, which I think is fantastic. It's got 4 USB-A quick charge ports. It's got 2 USB-C. This bottom one here is a 60 watt PD port. The top one here is a 100 watt PD port. It has a 12 volt outlet, of course, and then it's got 6 AC outlets. So this thing can power a total of 13 things all at once. It also has a power saving mode that you can turn on and off. And what that does is as you are charging devices, it can actually sense when the device is finished charging and shut those down. So if you're charging some things from the AC outlets, it senses when no current is currently, being output from the AC outlets, and it shuts that down because when they're on, it's going to give it just a little bit of a drain because it is powering the inverter there. So handy little power saving feature that I like. On the back, you've got your charging ports here, and behind this little door, you've got your AC outlet. As there's no brick for this thing. You just plug the power cord directly into this, and it handles all the charging on the inside. Has a reset button, and then it's got an XT60 DC adapter. So that is for your solar and your car charging adapter there. The sides, nice and vented on both sides. Top is nice and flat, so if you're putting this in your rig, you can very easily stack things up on top of it. I think that is a great feature, and it does have I normally don't care for the lights on my power stations because most of them are very harsh LEDs, but this is a very nice warm LED strip. And if you're using this at night, it does cast a nice little nice warm light out here that's not just all up in your face. So definitely give it props for the light. Now, I've tested and reviewed a bunch of power stations on this channel, and I always like to let's just plug some stuff into it and see what all this thing can do. I've got my e-bike here, and I like to take these things to camp sometimes. They're handy to have, or maybe you're just in a new city and you want to ride an e-bike around. Let's see what this thing will do as far as recharging an e-bike. The power brick on this pulls 154 watts, so this will recharge my e-bike with no problem. Piece of cake. What about something like a portable air conditioner? I have used this several times in my rooftop tent. It is quite necessary if you're camping in weather like we have today. But let's see, this comes with its own rechargeable battery, but it can also run from a power station in case that battery fails. Let's just see here. Well, I'm gonna point this on me if you don't mind. This thing is settling into about 143 watts, so 1229 watt hour battery, 150 watts now. This thing will power this overnight and keep me nice and cool in my tent with no problem. I honestly don't want to turn this off now. It feels real good. Well, what about your home microwave? I've got some leftovers here. Let's put those in there for a minute. See if it can do it. This microwave is running right at 1500 watts. 1449. So this is right at the very top of the inverter in this Anker. Let's see if it makes it. Now you can see the battery level going down because it is pulling quite a bit of power. But I mean, you're not going to use a microwave for extended periods of time. It's going to be, short, couple minute bursts. Whew. There we go. Yeah, works great. Well, what about an air fryer? This is a large one, and I actually know people who take air fryers to camp because they can. They have enough power to do so. So air fryers are great. Let's see. Air fryer's pulling just over 1100 watts. So yeah, running the air fryer, no problem. 10 to 15 minutes cooking with the air fryer, you'll still have plenty of power left. I mean, I get asked all the time, will this power my home fridge? Well, I mean, if it'll run a microwave, yes, it will definitely power your home fridge, and your home fridge's compressor cycles on and off, so it could last several hours, even potentially as long as a day. Depending on how big your fridge is and how many times it cycles on and off, how often are you opening it and closing it to let cold air out, that sort of thing. So there's no way to tell exactly how long it will, run a home fridge, but it will definitely do so. I get asked, will this power my Xbox and TV? Yes, it will. For how long? I don't know. I've never tested it with an Xbox and a TV. I guess if you're bored with a power outage, running your Xbox and TV might be more important than powering your fridge. I don't know. But these are the questions I get asked. Will it run a CPAP? Absolutely. Of course it'll run a CPAP for a very long time. I think the microwave and the air fryer are definitely two of the more power-hungry devices that you may need in your house in an emergency situation when the power's out. So, a griddle to cook things on, no problem. Toaster oven, no problem. Waffle maker type of thing, absolutely no problem. If it'll run, the microwave and the air fryer, everything else is a piece of cake. What about your power tools? Now, obviously, if you've got power at the house, you don't need something like this, but maybe you're at deer camp and you don't have power out there, or some other, maybe you got a cabin somewhere with no power, and you got a construction project going on. So, maybe you need to take something like this, and maybe you need to, cut up a bunch of 2x4s for a building project. Let's see here. Now, I always get criticized when I do this sort of test for not actually putting it under a load. So here's a 2x4. Let's cut it and see what we do here. I mean, spiked to 800, ran 700. Yeah, I could cut up a a lot of 2x4s with this. Now I got to clean up my desk. I mean, so if it'll run a big miter saw like that, you're running a skill saw, a drill, a grinder, no problem. Now I've just made a horrible mess. But for my purposes at camp, you know, I've just got so much stuff that I take with me. When I'm on a longer trip, I've got my laptop. So let's get it plugged in there. Put that in the 100-watt PD port. Let's see, I've got just a bunch of different batteries. This is all for my GoPro. Make sure these are all turned on. That's still turned on. So plug that GoPro batteries in there. I mean, gotta have my drone batteries. You can't make an overlanding video without a drone, right? So let's plug the drone batteries in there. Certainly need to charge my Apple Watch at camp because these things don't last more than a day and a half. I do carry a chainsaw, a battery-powered chainsaw. These batteries typically need to be charged. So we'll plug those in there. Here's my main video camera that I'm filming with right now. Those batteries need to be charged. My main photography camera, let's put that battery down there. It fits nicely. Certainly need to plug the fridge in there. I mean, we need to charge our camp lights and stuff, so let's plug those in there. My iPhone, gotta keep that. Just plug that into the USB-C PD60 port. Where's my phone? There we go. My iPhone's charging, as you can see there. Put that there. What do I got left? Man, I still got another USB port. It is so stupid hot out here. I want this fan. I'm gonna plug that into the USB port there. Turn that on. Oh, that's better. Let's see, we've still got 2 outlets left. Well, I mean, let's go ahead and plug in the e-bike because it still needs to charge. There we go. And then I've got one more lantern. We can use this outlet adapter here and plug that in there. And there you go. 13 things powering at camp. Currently pulling 388 watts with all of this stuff going. Look at my laptop here. There we go. So, I mean, the ability to power this many things and charge this many things at camp is, I mean, it's incredible. You know, with other power stations, to power this many things, you would need to bring maybe a surge protector extension or two power stations to get 13 outlets like this. I think this is absolutely incredible. With every power station test that I do, always see how long it will run our fridge. And I use the exact same fridge inside the house. It's a Dometic CFX 355 IM. It's a 55-liter fridge. I put two 2-liter bottles of water in the fridge just to help, you know, regulate temperature, and plug this in here and see how long it lasts till this thing drains to 0. This thing came in at a very impressive 98 hours and 2 minutes. So ample power from this thing to run your fridge for days. If you're parked at camp for 2, 3, even 4 days, this thing's going to be able to keep your fridge running. Now, obviously, there's variables. If you're cooler temperatures, it'll go longer. If you're in Moab in the summertime and it's 100 degrees outside, obviously this isn't going to last near as long. But compared to all the other power stations that I've done, this one falls in line between the 1000s and the 1500 watt power stations, and does very, very well. In the box, you get all the necessary things. You get the power cord. Like I said, no power brick. You get a handy dandy little bag, just a kind of a storage bag to put over it to keep dust off that sort of thing when you've got it stored. Kind of handy. I thought this would be like a nice bag to keep all the cords and stuff in, but unfortunately it's not. You get, of course, a very detailed owner's manual, which is handy. You get this cord here with an XT60 on the end for connecting solar panels to it. I'll get more into detail in this in a minute. And then you've got your car charger here, also with the XT60 on the end. I do like how long this is. So many power stations only come with, maybe little 18-inch, maybe 2 feet at most, 12-volt chargers like this. This one is a really long one, so you can keep this in the back of your vehicle, run it up to the front, and have this charging on the go. Really like that feature there. And then a warranty card, which I might add, 5-year warranty with this thing. Best one I've ever seen. Most of them come with 1. Jackeries come with 2, 3, sometimes you register them. But this one comes with an amazing 5-year warranty, which absolutely sets this apart from any other power station I've ever tested. Now let's talk about the recharging of this. Since we've got all the cables out, the main way to recharge this is going to be with the power cord. And this thing does something really incredible. This is a new trend happening within power stations. Anker has nailed it with this one. Plug this in. But this thing is charging right at 1,000 watts. The fact that you can fully recharge from zero a power station like this in under an hour and a half is absolutely incredible. You can get it to 80% in an hour. This technology is awesome, and I think it's fantastic. Thought I would demonstrate a real world use case for this. I got the power station sitting in the back seat. Right there. And real world scenario, I'm at camp. I've used this to keep my fridge going overnight. I've recharged all of my cameras and watches and phones and all those things, kept fans running, that sort of stuff. And realistically in a situation like that, you may drain a power station like this down to, 80%. So in the back seat, you're on the move, going to check out new cool things, and you grab your 12-volt outlet and you plug it in, and that's going to start charging. And so it's hovering 85 watts, 88, should go. Yeah, there's more than 90. So 92 watts, it can get up to 100 watts. In a real world scenario, if this thing's down to 80% or so, full day's worth of driving, exploring, all that sort of stuff, you'll be able to have this thing top back off fairly easily in that type of situation. So look at this. Look at this cord. Look how long this cord is. You've got an SUV, you throw this sucker way in the back, that's going to reach all the way up to the front. That's crazy. It's little things like that to me make a big difference in how usable a power station like this. The companies that just give you the little dinky 18 inches to 2 feet cords, those are just ridiculous. Thanks, Anker, for including a really long cord like this. Good job. Now let's discuss one of my biggest frustrations when it comes to charging this thing, and that is with the solar. Not because this doesn't have a good solar controller. It does. It can accept up to 300 watts of solar. So 1,229 watt hour battery in there, 300 watts of solar. You can recharge this with solar theoretically in 3 to 4 hours, which is pretty darn good. But my frustration is, as much as I loved the 12-volt cord that Anker supplied with this and gave them a thumbs up, gonna have to give a thumbs down to their solar cord, because XT60 on the end that plugs in the back, fantastic. This is becoming quite common with power stations these days. But they give you XT60 connectors on this end too to plug into the solar panels. I've got a closet full of solar panels. Not a one of them outputs with an XT60. None of them. So I mean, theoretically, 3 solar panels, 300-watt panels. This wires them in parallel, 300 watts of input. But I don't know a single solar panel that uses XT60, at least none that I have, and I've got quite a few of the name brand solar panels. I don't know if you're gonna have to find an adapter for this to go from, I mean, is it MP4? Yeah, MC4, MP4? Crap, I can't remember. MC4. Almost all solar panels come with an MC4 connector on the end of it. Not these. I don't even know if there's an MC4 to XT60 adapter out there. I've never seen one. Anker didn't provide one. So mega frustration with Anker for providing this type of power cord for your solar, because it didn't do me much. Now, one of my other power stations does come with XT60 to MC4 connectors. So I was able to test one solar panel on this. I'm currently getting 114 watts of input off of a single 160 watt solar panel. Not bad. I just wish I could test all 300 watts worth. Well, let's compare this to what I think will be its biggest competitor. And that is the Jackery 1500. This one comes in at $1,400, which is fairly pricey for a 1229 watt power station. The Jackery 1500 is a 1500 watt power station. It comes in at $1,600. So, you may be asking yourself, do I spend just a couple $100 more and get 1500 watts of power versus 1229 watts of power, watt hours worth of power? I think the win definitely goes to the Anker for a couple different reasons. One, recharging, hour and a half. Recharging for this, 6 hours. 300 watts of solar, 400 watts of solar, not bad. But I think the biggest difference is going to be just in the pure usability of it. Jackery, 3 AC outlets. What the crap? 3 AC outlets here, 6 here. Jackery, 3 USB ports. Only 3. 6 USB ports here. Jackery has a good display. This one also has a good display. We'll call it a tie. Jackery also, obviously 12 volt output, 12 volt output there. A light, nice. The Jackery on this one, this is its light. It's pretty lame. But I think between these two, just the charging time of this, the outputs of this blows the Jackery away. I think you're getting a lot more for your money with the Anker than you are with the Jackery 1500. I never know what Jackery's thinking with only putting 3 USB ports and 3 AC outlets on a 1500 watt hour power station. I mean, really? Come on. But Anker knocked that one out of the park. They did a fantastic job with that. And another huge difference between the two of these is the 3,000 cycles for the Anker versus only 500 cycles for the Jackery. So this will last 6 times longer than the Jackery will before capacity drops to 80%. I think that's a huge thing here. So let's go real quickly through a list of pros and cons for this Anker 757 PowerHouse. The pros, 13 outlets. That is incredible. 6 of them being USB, 2 USB-C ports with a 60 and 100 watt PD. That is absolutely fantastic. 1500 watts of pure sine inverter. For a power station this size, can run just about anything you throw at it. The crazy fast charging, I think really sets this thing apart from a lot of other ones on the market. The fact that this has lithium iron phosphate batteries in it, 3,000 cycles for this, absolutely fantastic. And then, I mean, what I think makes this industry leading, a 5-year warranty, is absolutely incredible. Now, the cons. The price at $1,400, that's a little pricey for a 1200 watt power station, I think. But I am going to say I do think it's worth it, but it's still a little spendy. Another con for any power station that has this super fast charging, I wish there was a way to turn it down. Like, give me the option, give me a switch to toggle and just do 200 watts. Because I've got an inverter in my Gladiator. I can't charge this with the inverter. I have to use the 12 volts. So I would love the option to be able to, to tone down the fast charging on this. There's a couple brands that let you. This one unfortunately does not. So, you're at 1,000 watts. That's all you get. If your inverter can't handle 1,000 watts, then you can't charge it that way. The XT60 solar connector, that's just, that to me is the worst. That's the worst con of all of them. I think that's it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Anker 757 PowerHouse. I think it's fantastic. There's a link in the description if you want to go check it out for yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If you would, give the video a like. That helps it do well on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I've got a goal of hitting 75,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and we're about to cross over 50 right now. So 25 more thousand by the end of this year in 6 months. I think it's doable. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, please. And if you like what we're doing on the channel and you want to contribute and support us in a tangible way, help us keep doing what we're doing, chasing our dream to do this, live on the road full time. In 3 years. Check out the Patreon link in the description. We do some special content for our patrons. We provide all of our GPS data for our patrons and discounts, that sort of thing for merchandise. And speaking of merchandise, if you like my very sweaty t-shirt here and want your own Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.